The Financial Times, which is always a very good, solid organ of information, has come up with the idea that James Cleverly is probably the best candidate in the Conservative ranks to take over as leader. And I think it's wrong. The former Foreign Secretary is gaining traction as the potential leader, and his extensive political experience, well, or rather the fact that he's held some of the main jobs, combined with his ability to navigate the various government briefs, and to his credit, the fact that there's a report today pointing out that illegal as well as legal migration went down during the last quarter of the last Conservative government. This is taken as a sign that he is to be favoured. He's been involved in politics since 2008, when he was elected to the London Assembly, and over the years he served under various Conservative leaders, including Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak. And his extensive experience of serving under this litany of disaster had provided him with a deep understanding of the inner workings of the party and of the way government functions, and his ability to manage major departments such as the Foreign Office and the Home Office demonstrates his competence and his resilience. I think it's his resilience rather than anything else in high-pressure environment. One of his key strengths is capacity to unite the Conservative Party, which has been deeply divided in recent years, and his loyalty to different, albeit Lilliputian Conservative leaders, despite the party's internal turmoil, suggests that he could be a figure to bring stability and cohesion, at least for a time. He could be the Ian Duncan Smith of the 21st century. This is not particularly important for a party that's faced significantly that faces a significantly long time in opposition, but it's important to, I think at this stage, stop large numbers of the party defecting to Reform UK. Opinion polls indicate that Cleverly is one of the most favoured candidates, and anything other than Priti Patel, I suppose, will be a benefit. But and his ability to connect with voters and present a more palatable image of the party could be crucial in the next general election. But his leadership bid is overshadowed by a few significant missteps. One of the most notable is his alleged description of the government's Rwanda policy as batshit, a term that came to public attention through Labour's Yvette Cooper. And although Cleverly has not outright denied using this language, he claimed he couldn't recall doing so. This incident raises questions about his commitment to party politics, to party policies, to the policies that he himself took on and then nurtured, and his judgment in private conversations. Another controversy involves a highly inappropriate joke that he made during a private conversation at number 10, and he reportedly suggested spiking his wife's drink with Rohypnol, a date rape drug, to ensure her compliance, and the comment was widely condemned as misogynistic, and Cleverly later apologised. The incident not only demonstrates his poor judgment, but his sort of attempt to aspire to barrack room banter, when he's really just parading as a toy soldier. It undermines his credibility as a leader in a party that has struggled with gender equality, and that has struggled with racism, and that has struggled with its identity and keeping its followers in the group. It is leaking followership. It is leaking followers. It's leaking support, and I don't think somebody who talks about batshit crazy and spiking drinks with Rohypnol is likely to command that much admiration. His support for Boris Johnson, Liz Truss and Brexit has been a double-edged sword. While it shows loyalty, it also ties him with some of the most decisive and divisive decisions and figures in recent conservative and political history. His backing of the Rwanda deportation plan, despite its controversies, suggests a reluctance to challenge the status quo, which limits his ability to lead any party in any new direction. He's a yes man, and he's seen by some as good on paper, experienced, competent, relatively uncontroversial, but his lack of bold vision, his reluctance to take on any form of transformation, to take the party forward, would result in a leadership that's more the same, that's leading the Conservatives to another defeat without making any significant progress. And I don't see him as somebody who can challenge or hold to account the present government in any positive way. He carries too much baggage and not enough credibility. So he's undoubtedly a seasoned politician, but he's been seasoned in the company of a series of lacklustre prime ministers: Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss. You're not going to celebrate that collection, that trinity of disaster. And while he may have demonstrated competence in comparison to those three twits, it's not saying very much, is it really? And his leadership bid is complicated by controversies and a perceived lack of boldness in challenging party orthodoxy. And while he may be a safe choice for some, his Conservative Party voters should weigh the risks of opting for continuity over the need for transformation. The Financial Times' apparent backing of Cleverly reflects his strengths, particularly in terms of experience and public appeal, and I think picks up on the fact that today there is an acknowledgement of the number of migrants who were deported during his tenure. But the party must consider whether his candidacy offers the potential for renewal and reinvigoration that the Conservatives so badly, desperately need, and that the country needs. The country cannot be saddled with a lame duck opposition any longer. It was bad enough when it was saddled with Jeremy Corbyn.